2022, there are 37,400 species threatened with extinction. In fact, the past 5 mass extinctions occurring over a period of 26 million years have wiped out entire families of animals, including the dinosaurs. The mass die-offs dramatically changed the course of life on our planet. Now, scientists say that we are in the middle of the sixth mass extinction, driven by humans. People should protect endangered species for the better of ourselves and them. Loretta Lynch, a former attorney of the U.S., said, "We all have a responsibility to protect endangered species, both for their sake and our own." In my opinion, we need to start this protection process by simply acknowledging their presence and realizing the effect that it has on the world. To give you a better grasp of endangered species, I will name a few and explain how vital they are to our ecosystem. When vultures became endangered, it resulted in the spread of infectious diseases in India. The spread of other diseases like the fatal Ebola virus has also been linked to the clearing of forests and bushmeat hunting. In 2010, Nicholas Calderon of Cornell University found that honeybees and other insects pollinated nearly $30 billion worth of crops in the U.S. However, the global honeybee population is facing dramatic declines across the U.S., Europe, and parts of Asia due to a number of reasons, from pesticides to parasites. In 2014, for example, farmers in the U.S. have reported loss of over 40% of bee colonies. The Siberian tiger is also a famous endangered species. If Siberian tigers are extinct, their disappearance will disrupt the food web. If Siberian tigers are not alive, they won't be able to eat. So the area of the world where they inhabit will be overpopulated with their prey, causing many different catastrophic events and effects, such as the disappearance of many different plants. Also, the giant panda plays a huge part in the ecosystem. Giant pandas help to keep their mountain forests healthy by spreading seeds in their droppings, which helps vegetation to thrive. The panda's forest environment is also important for the local people that live there as well, for food, income, and fuel to cooking and heating. Also, now there's only 2,500 left in the world. Another endangered species or animal is the blue whale. There are fewer than 25,000 blue whales, the largest animal on the planet. The current population is thought to have been reduced by up to 90% by whaling in the 20th century. Whales are at the top of the food chain and have an important role in overall health of the marine environment. An article published by the Study of Environments Academy wrote, "If the blue whales were to go extinct, it would disrupt the entire food chain and cause other species to suddenly boom. When any animal goes extinct within a food web, it affects all of the species. Species may be seen as thriving in the beginning due to the absence of the larger predator, but over time, species such as krill, the whale's food source, will overpopulate as a result and cause other species to die." So, when an animal becomes extinct, it messes with the flow of nature and the balance of the ecosystem. This includes humans, but majority affects the animals. Plants and animals maintain the health of an ecosystem. When a species becomes endangered, it's a sign that the ecosystem is out of balance. Each lost species triggers the loss of other species within its ecosystem. It can trigger a catastrophic effects throughout the food chain. While it may seem unimportant if we lose one salamander or rat species, it matters because all species are connected through their interactions in a web of life. The human species plays a role in this web of life just like any other species. We, however, are the only ones that can save the endangered species and our planet. When Congress passed the Endangered Species Act in 1973, it stated and recognized that our rich natural heritage is of aesthetic, ecological, educational, recreational, and scientific value to our nation and its people. This act and the many projects that followed it give hope to a bright future and healthy ecosystem. So you may be asking, how can I help? There are many simple and little things that can be done. You can reduce your water consumption, water water scarcity doesn't just affect us humans, but often animals too. Another huge way to help is recycling. Recycling can be a major help to endangered animals by keeping dangerous and hazardous substances away from animals. Every effort, big or small, makes a difference. But it starts with opening all of our eyes and seeing what is happening, and what will happen if endangered species aren't protected. Thank you for listening. Is there any questions from the audience?
Fair question.
Yes.
So on a larger scale, how would you say that the big companies and big corporations are directly affecting how these animals are becoming endangered or extinct? And how do we fix those big companies and corporations affecting our ecosystem?
Well, it depends on, I think, the companies and what exactly they are doing. Like these big fisher companies that are overfishing are just a huge disaster to the marine life and ocean life. And I think, in my opinion, it's all up to power and the government and limiting how much fishing is done. And there's so many other companies as well that affect our world, and so many, like even gas companies affect global warming. And we all know that how terrible that is for ourselves and animals. But I think it's if the government was to step in more, for sure, and limit everything, all the production of fossil fuels and overfishing, it would just, even just a little bit, would just help. Any other questions? Yes.
Do you know if grizzly bears are still endangered?
Oh yes, for sure. Grizzly bears
Still
are
on the endangered list?
definitely, grizzly bears are definitely in the endangered list. Grizzly bears actually used to inhabit pretty much all of the Northwest, up to the Mississippi River, and now just are completely wiped out, mostly contained to Montana, Idaho, a little bit, and of course Alaska, but they are definitely still in. But there's been many projects, and are many projects being done, and to introduce grizzly bears back into the Midwest, Northwest region. All right, thank you.